Hi, I'm Andrew, and I'm the co-founder of Afterimage, and I'm trying to democratize justice for patients and their loved ones. I started out in tech building games and getting into Gaming Tech Accelerator in high school, and then in college I got really into public health, made some really popular open source software for modeling and simulating epidemics. And then something happened. My mom got diagnosed with cancer. My priorities shifted a lot. I started looking into how I could use AI to design cancer drugs, wrote some blog posts, wrote some code, and read some papers, eventually got recruited by some pharma companies where I did AI for cancer research. I ended up venting a lot about pharma and healthcare and that stuff in general to my friends and family and became a sort of magnet for stories. Probably the worst story I heard, most severe one, was a family friend who got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer after doing regular screening for years, every year like they were supposed to. Her grandson thought something was off and I told him to go to a lawyer, but he didn't feel confident enough to go do something so serious. I ended up calling a lawyer for him and they said they couldn't take the case. And I called another and they said the same thing. I ended up going to pick up the records myself, driving to the hospital to get her mammograms, and pushing one of the lawyers to look into it after doing that work up front. What do you know, there was clear evidence of a tumor developing the year before that the doctor had just not mentioned or even looked at. Even though she did everything right, paid for her care, had insurance, and got regular screening exactly like she was supposed to, her entire life was changed, and so was everyone's around her. In the end, we won a $3 million settlement, but no number could be enough for something like this. All I was thinking about was, how could this have happened? How could we prevent it from happening? How many other people experience something like this? It turns out a lot. There's 20 to 30 million diagnostic errors every year, just in the US. Meanwhile, about 1 million of them cause permanent disability or death. But only 1% or fewer of these cases ever end up even getting filed for investigation. There's millions of people who have suffered medical errors, but are completely bearing the costs of this, along with their families, with no closure. Even in the most severe cases, like there's tens of thousands of wrong site surgeries every year, but only about 20% of them even file claims to get investigated. So why is there this massive gap in justice between the 10,000 and the millions? First of all, patients, mostly, even if they feel like something went wrong, they're not confident enough to go talk to a lawyer about it. But even for the small group of people who try, they usually get turned away. Medical malpractice lawyers say, sorry, can't help, to 95% of them on the first call, without even looking into their case. Often they just get rejected based on their income, because that influences how much they can win in a lawsuit. So they end up in a really ironic situation where they pursue claims for higher income people who actually tend to already have pretty good healthcare, and they end up pursuing a bunch of bogus claims against good doctors. Meanwhile, lower income people who have access to much worse healthcare don't get their voices heard at all. In the end, most of the system, many of the people who get into the system are just pretty litigious. Meanwhile, the vast majority of the serious, most legitimate cases, because the damages might not be high enough, can't even get their voices heard. So how can we fix this now, in May of 2025? My solution comes in 3 parts. First, we create a safe, welcoming consumer advocate that patients and their loved ones can go to and tell their stories and feel heard, whether they have a case or not, reflecting whatever culture they come from and their frustrations with their healthcare. Second, on the back end, we create AI agents that can automate all the labor involved in helping patients and their loved ones get justice, or just closure or peace of mind for the majority of them. We have agents that can call clinics to get records, that can analyze their records like an oncologist or a cardiologist, that can make legal arguments like an expert medical malpractice attorney, and even negotiate post-settlement liens. The third most important part of our solution is partnership and ownership. We think the best way to align our incentives with patients, to help as many as widely as possible and make the best technology to help them across the board, is to have an actual stake in their cases and help them directly, not charging law firms $100 a pop in a world where software is quickly becoming commoditized. To that end, my co-founder is Peter Anderson, a top medical malpractice attorney at the most influential malpractice firm in the country and the former founder of Morgan & Morgan's Washington, D.C. branch. His sister and father are both doctors and surgeons, and he understands intimately the broken incentives on both the healthcare side and the legal side of the system. And as of last week, we officially own a law firm that can serve patients directly. In the end, we'll be able to give at least peace of mind or closure to any patient who comes to us with their worries and fears. At best, we'll be able to help them get compensated for the billions of dollars in costs they, their families, and healthcare insurers bear due to medical errors. And unlike a law firm who has to say, sorry, can't help you, to almost everyone on the first call, we can take any legitimate case and make it worthwhile to both us and the patients. So I'll show you a demo of one of those agents. See here, this is an agent whose job is to find out if a provider followed the standard of care or didn't when treating a patient. And the most important thing here is trust. We want to give the full trace of logic, reasoning, and evidence that the agents use to make its decision. So here we can click one claim it made and scroll down, trying to look at that screen and click, and it will attribute any piece of evidence, whether it's a number, a test result, or a figure, that it used to come up with its reasoning logically, so that our attorney partners can quickly and efficiently find out if there's a legitimate case there. There's a massive zeitgeist of distrust of healthcare institutions, not just in America, but around the world. Every day, videos get posted on TikTok with hundreds of thousands of likes and comments, telling people stories about how they were mistreated, misdiagnosed, taken advantage of, or gaslit by healthcare providers. We can capture the zeitgeist to scale growth and service patients at a scale that no law firm could ever hope to. Once we do that and automate most of the labor with AI agents, something magical happens. The margins explode over 50x over a normal firm. If we can scale to just 1,500 median cases, and we can do much, much better than that, and retain on average 25% of the wins, we reach more than $100 million in revenue. On the way there, we'll build a reputation as a trusted advocate for all patients, even for those who don't have a big case, and build a massive, unique data set of patient safety and satisfaction that no hospital or law firm could hope to have. Just in the last 2 weeks, more than 900 patients have signed up with our AI advocate, telling him their stories and their fears about their healthcare. Many of them just need peace of mind, but about 5 out of every 100 are severe situations like an ignored cancer diagnosis or a botched surgery, where they may be owed significant compensation. People who never knew they could do anything about it or weren't willing did after they met us or talked to our advocate. Even at this scale, we've helped patients get peace of mind and already have a 7-figure caseload incoming. For this, I really have to credit our head of growth, James, who was the creative director at BetterHelp during their largest period of growth before I met him, and he really resonated with our mission. I didn't want to build a legal startup. I wanted to move a lever on the world and prevent anyone from being harmed due to medical errors ever again, like my family friend. The system is set up to hide mistakes from patients instead of being transparent with them, on the assumption they'll never find out or do anything about it, to avoid exposure to liability. The only way to change the status quo is to make it really easy and accessible for any patient to find out what happened to them. Giving someone authority over your health is a serious decision, and it always has been. And society needs ways to advocate for patients and hold providers accountable, whether it's humans or robots doing the doctoring. We will be the accountability layer for the future of healthcare, the trusted advocate who watches patients' backs. If you resonate with our mission and think you can help us blast off, we're making fast progress, so please get in touch.